I've come out to the acres today, and let me tell you, I'm excited. This is the first thing that we're doing on the property, where we're adding to the property. We had some people come out here. We had a lot of brush. It was very hard to access a lot of the property, so we had to come out here and clear it down as much as we can without taking down any trees. It was just brush, a lot of briar. So that was cleared, but this is the first time we're adding something to the property. Today, we're putting in the beehives. I can't always pick the day that I come out here, and the weather, it's a little foggy, a little bit rainy, a little drizzly, but let me tell you, short sleeves in January, yes, absolutely. 60 degrees out here. I'm working up a sweat, moving some stuff around. It's gorgeous out here, so it's a great day for putting in these beehives. Let's talk about why I want bees in the first place. There's three main reasons for me. First, that delicious honey. There's something about getting some honey that's not from the grocery store, from your neighbor, from the farmer's market. It just tastes different. My wife is really looking forward to that. She loves honey in her tea. I'm looking forward to honey to make a little mead. I tried it one time. I'm still waiting on it to finish, but I can't wait to try it. The second reason is for pollination. One of the plans that we have here for the acres is to put in a lot of fruit trees. I'm hoping that's going to happen this fall. We'll see what happens. But when I have these bees in place and the fruit trees in place, those bees are going to help me a ton to pollinate those trees. All those flowers on the trees are going to turn into beautiful, delicious fruits, and I can't wait for that. The third reason that I'm getting these bees is here in Texas, you can get something called an ag exemption. It's also called an agricultural valuation. The purpose of this is to lower your taxes. An agricultural valuation is when you have a piece of property that you're using for the purposes of something agricultural, such as keeping bees, or growing an orchard, keeping cows, livestock, or even for the wildlife. So if you file with your county and you can prove that you've been doing this for 5 years, you get a significant reduction on the valuation of your property. Definitely a good incentive for me to grow out my apiary here. Sure is squishy. The video doesn't show how far I have to bring these things to the middle of the property. It's a few hundred yards, and these are not light. Tired. Take a nap. I feel like a proper builder now. Look at that. Beautiful. I mean, no nails, no screws, no actual building, but my kids build things like this. I don't mean to show off. Look, Daddy, it's a tunnel. It's a garage. Every self-respecting beekeeper needs a bee shirt. Let's see if I remember what I learned from class. All the different parts of a beehive. I believe the technical term is front door, or maybe bottom board. A little fuzzy. Anyway, that is where they come in. The hive body. The size of it is called a deep. That's going to be your first piece. It's also like the queen's bedroom. This is where she's going to stay most of the time, laying eggs. The super. This is also called a medium because of the height of it. This is where all the honey is going to be put. This is where we're going to extract all the honey. So once the bees fill up this bottom part with brood and with honey, they start moving up into here, And this is where the honey is going to be that we extract. It's where the good stuff is. That's our feeder. So we can put water, sugar water, make sure the bees have something to eat. This is especially needful during the winter months or in the beginning when I first get my bees. They may not have anything to eat, so I'll be filling this with sugar water. I think it's called the top board. And that's our cover. It's the beehive roof. It extends a little bit out so that the rain doesn't get down into the hive, protects the bees. That's aluminum with a little bit of cover on it. We'll take that off later. Hive number 2. Oops. Right there. All right. Everything's in place. Ooh. So sturdy. Look at builder. It's a great bench. Now let's talk about why I put it up in the first place. Why not just put it on the ground? Well, here's one reason. Keeps the beehives nice and dry. They're made of wood, obviously, so we don't want them to rot with all the water that might be sitting underneath it. The other part, as you just saw before, is as you're taking the cover off, you want someplace to put it. So this is just a natural workbench as well. So what's next? In April, I'm getting my nukes. In April, I'm getting my nukes. But what's a nuke? I'm a beginner, so I'll tell you. A nuke is basically half a hive full of bees. It comes in a plastic container. It's sealed, and it sounds terrifying. I've never seen one before, just the box, not full of bees. And then somehow they're going to give it to me. I'm going to put it in my car, drive over an hour to the property, and not get stung. Okay. When I get here, assuming I arrive here and not at the hospital, when I get here, I'll open up the nuke. Wait, no. Shoot first. I'll bring him out here, and when you open up the nuke, it's about 5 frames full of bees. So I'm going to swap these empty frames for the new full frames. Just pull these on out. Put the new ones filled with bees right in there. And I'll only be putting in 5 because they need room to grow. The other 5 is for them to expand to create new honeycomb, to give me delicious, delicious honey, and to make bee babies. Now, if I understood everything correctly, when I actually bring the nuke out here and I replace these, I won't put the super on right away. I'll keep that off on the side because we don't want them to going into the super just yet. We want them to fill out these frames first. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have this base, this deep, filled with bees and honey before we even put the super on. The first thing that happens after that is a hive inspection. I still haven't done one before. I did it during class, so I think I understand. I hope I listened. But we're going to come in a couple weeks after the installation. We're going to check out to make sure that the bees are not dying, to make sure that they seem healthy, to make sure that they're expanding, and that the queen is still alive. Do you like my bee shirt? I'm really happy to get these beehives in. It's the first thing that we've done in this property, and it also clears up some space in my garage, which my wife is happy about, I'm sure. Hopefully, if we're lucky, we might get some honey in the fall, but more likely, we're going to be getting honey the following spring. So this spring we'll be putting in the bees, and next spring we can expect a bit of honey. But in the meantime, I'm happy we got it in. Gardeners everywhere talk about pollination because it's so frustrating when you work so hard on your fruits or your veggies and then you don't get any. These plants are lush and green and you get flowers and then you just don't get any fruits. This is one way that we can just take control of that situation. If you have the room on your property and you don't mind having some bees on your property and taking care of them, this is a great way to increase the pollination. We're all done out here on the property. We got everything installed. A little sweaty, a little tired. But I'm really thrilled that this is done. I'll see you next time when we put the bees in.